Hey, today I'm going to be talking about, well, guess what? Proximal hamstring tendinopathy. If you've been suffering from that discomfort in your lower glute region where your hamstring meets your glute, then this video is going to be one that you're not going to want to miss so you can help yourself get back on track and live the life you deserve.
Today's video is brought to you by One Life Family Chiropractic. Optimize your spine and nervous system for more energy and mobility.
So if you notice the spot right there at the bottom of your glutes, that is, well, guess what? Your hamstring origin. Right at the top, if you will, on your sit bones, that is the spot right there. That is the proximal hamstring region. And if you are suffering from discomfort, I'm going to show you some tips and some ways to help improve how you move and help relieve some of that discomfort. So first, let's understand a little bit about the anatomy. That area, this is your sit bones right down here. And remember, you have your spine, your nervous system, and this is going to be vitally important in this system to help you function and heal. And keep in mind, as a corrective chiropractor, I'm going to talk a lot about, well, the nerves and how they control your body. And remember that your brain has an extension cord we call your spinal cord. And these nerves talk to your muscles, your organs, and help with how you heal. So your mechanics, your joint awareness are going to be very important. One of the things is you may have areas you feel, and then you may have areas you have no idea about. That's why it's so important to get tested, because this whole system, this nervous system runs the show and helps with how you heal. So one of the most important things to do is start with the proper assessment of, well, your spine and nervous system and how that may impact your health and healing. Now, proximal hamstring tendinopathy, that muscle tendon junction coming into your sit bones through here, you may typically, it may creep up over time, and you may notice with, well, hip flexion, leaning over, or just sitting for long periods of time, this area is sore. So I'm going to give you some ideas today to get back on track and, well, some things that have worked really well for me in the past and with patients. So some simple things to start with. Well, number one, make a point of, well, standing up some more and getting out of that flex position, because I find sitting on it for long periods of time can create some discomfort. And you may notice it, especially if you've been trying to train or you've been working out and, well, maybe you've re-aggravated the issue a little bit. And one thing I find really easy to do is, first of all, just stand up more. And if you haven't already, implement that standing workstation. Number two, I love this ball. The simplicity of this ball. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fall off the sit bones, and I'm actually going to sit on it. I'm actually going to be on this region here. I'm going to fall off just to the anterior portion of it, and you're probably going to be sensitive. What I want you to do is just find a tender spot. I want you to breathe. This is one simple way. Well, guess what? You can get some motion in there, but you can also help loosen things up and help, well, loosen those tissues up and optimize healing. So one thing I find is grab the ball just like this. From the side, it would look right there. And I am going to, well, guess what? Sit here, breathe, and I find a tender spot. I'll breathe into it for 30 seconds to a minute. When it gets a little bit easier, I'll shift over a little bit like that right there. Yep. And breathe into it. Now, you may also, out of curiosity, check the other side. See how that moves. And when you get on it, it may be less tender altogether. But you can actually get some movement in the other side too. And with both of these motions, what you can do is add a component where you flex and extend your hips. So what you can actually do, I'll show you with the side that's uncomfortable, is beyond just sitting on it and moving around and finding those trigger points, you can actually lean forward. Notice I'm trying to keep my back straight, and then come up. So you're thinking flexion, extension of your trunk at your hip. Breathe 30, 60 seconds. This a couple times a day for a couple of minutes, I find works really well. Now, if this is something that's chronic that's been going on for a while, I want you to start, guess what, with some isometrics just like this. So I'm going to lay down on my back and I'm going to do the hip extension. Great, simple exercise. I'm going to come up, squeeze my glutes, and back down. I'm going to count to 5 when I come up. What you're going to do is 6 to 8 of these for at least 2 sets a day. If you want to advance it and make it a little harder, you can try just up like that. But I would go ahead and start with just the 2 legs at once. From there, what you're going to do, well, guess what? You're supporting musculature. I want you to be as strong and resilient as possible, especially if you're a busy parent trying to pick up your groceries, your kids, and just keep up with life and get through this. So I want you to work on strengthening your hips. And one way I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to get in the side plank position, and I am going to bend my knees, 90 degrees. I'm going to lift up and back down. So you'll notice I'm supporting the muscles around it. And a lot of the hips, the hip rotators and the hip stabilizing muscles need to be worked properly. You may find they are weak. You may find that on the side that you have the challenge, you may find that, well, guess what? You're not quite as strong as the opposite side. So at least 8 to 10 reps on each side twice a day would be a great thing to work with. Now, as you advance these exercises and you actually progress things along, one thing that you can consider adding in is just some eccentric loading. And you can do that, you can do it with a weight, but I would suggest just starting with your body weight first. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the hip airplane. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work, first of all, I'm gonna try on the side that's been bothering me. So what I'm gonna do is just kick straight back with the left leg and the right leg stays planted on the ground. I'm gonna have my shoulders slightly engaged and I'm gonna let myself tip forward at, well, my hips, just like this. And I got my big toe dug in the ground. And I am working on, when I get to the end range, a lot of times, remember, you get injured in the ranges that you don't necessarily have. So I'm going to be working on, well, guess what, to encourage those muscle fibers to lay down really well, get a bit of a stretch at the end, and I'm going to load it so that I come down. I start to feel that tension, I pause, and come back up. With this one, you're working on really controlling it really well, and I want you to work in the rep range of 6 to 8 really solid reps on each leg for at least 2 to 3 sets. Again, when you're considering how to structure all this, well, guess what? I start with the soft tissue ball, and then I progress to the isometrics, and then you can even add a component of strengthening your hips, which I did in the side plank position, and doing what's called isotonic exercises, where you're doing flexion, extension, and then you're progressing to more of just eccentric loading. And I find the hip airplane just so great for that. Start with a body weight, and then you can add it so that you're holding a kettlebell or a dumbbell and working in that 6 to 8 rep range. Remember, as with anything, consistency is going to be critical for your success. So stack your little routine together. And what I would suggest is keeping the soft tissue ball easily accessible beside your desk. And I would suggest, well, creating a little check sheet, whether you put a calendar in front of you and just have those little reminders, and you check off each day you do your exercises. You can put one check if you do them for a couple of sets in the morning, another check if you do them in the evening. And every time you have a little check, you create that momentum over the course of, well, your months to help retrain your hamstrings, your hips, and your spine. So some simple things to consider. Take these home, stack them together. I love the calendar idea just because it gives you that visual, and it especially gives you that feedback on the days where a humbug, you're not progressing quite the way you want. So consider those things. Start just adding 1 or 2 things in and building on that. And I really love working on this stuff with you. So if you enjoyed it, please take a moment. I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel here so that we can help reach more people and get these updates early. And like it, share it. As I've shared with you in the past, we've got a big mission in terms of helping people understand their health, about their spine, their nervous system. More function equals more health. So take a moment, share it on your feed, share this with someone that you know may benefit from it. You never know whose life you're going to impact. Anyways, I appreciate you very much. Thanks so much for your consideration, and have yourself a great day. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching Dr. Matt's self-help videos. See you in the next video.